Alright, let's talk about Hoyas. If you're into houseplants, you've probably heard of these guys. Wax plants, porcelain flowers, whatever you call them. Hoyas are some of the coolest, easiest plants to grow indoors. And the best part? There are tons of different varieties, each with its own vibesome, with thick, glossy leaves, others with crazy trailing vines, and some that even smell amazing when they bloom. So today, we're going to go through 20 different types of Hoyas you can grow at home. Whether you're a total newbie or a full-on plant nerd, there's definitely a Hoya for you. Grab a cup of coffee, maybe your plant wish list, and let's check them out. Alright, first up we've got Hoya Lacunosa, this little guy right here. If you want a plant that smells incredible when it blooms, this is the one. The flowers are tiny, white, and honestly, they smell like cinnamon. No joke. The leaves are kind of small and crinkly looking, and it grows these long, trailing vines that look great in a hanging basket. And once it starts flowering, your whole space smells amazing. Care-wise, super easy bright, indirect light. Let the soil dry out between waterings and, boom, happy plant. If you love fragrant plants, Hoya Lacunosa is a must-have. Next up, we've got Hoya Bella. One's a beauty for sure. If you want a Hoya that stays compact but still gives you those classic waxy blooms, this is the one. It's got these thin, lance-shaped leaves that drape down, making it perfect for hanging baskets. And the flowers? Man, these are some of the cutest Hoya blooms out there, tiny, white and pink, almost like little candy stars. Plus, they've got a light, sweet fragrance that isn't too overpowering. Hoya Bella loves bright, indirect light, and unlike some Hoyas, it actually likes a little more water. Keep the soil slightly moist, and you'll have a happy, blooming plant in no time. Alright, now we're getting into the cool stuff. This right here is Hoya Caudata. And, man, if you like plants with personality, this one's for you. Look at these leaves, they're big, kinda rough, and have these crazy speckles all over them. It's got this rough, almost leathery texture, and some leaves even get a reddish tint in bright light. And check this out, the blooms are this deep, fuzzy red. They look almost alien. Now, Caudata loves humidity, so if you've got a warm, slightly humid spot like a bathroom or near a humidifier, it'll thrive. Give it bright, indirect light, and let the soil dry out between waterings, and you're golden. Alright, check this one out, Hoya Macrophylla. If you're into Hoyas with big, bold leaves, this is going to be one of your favorites. The leaves are thick, super veiny, and some even have these cool creamy or pink edges. You can find it in its regular green form, but the variegated version, man, that one is next level. Those pink edges get even brighter in good light. Hoya Macrophylla likes bright, indirect light. Too much direct sun can burn those pretty leaves. And like most Hoyas, let the soil dry out between waterings. Keep it happy, and you might even get some of those sweet-smelling blooms. Alright, next up, we've got Hoya Memoria ones. A real underrated gem. It's got these soft green leaves with a ton of silver speckles, and honestly, it just looks elegant when it starts trailing. But the real showstopper? These blooms. They're deep red, kind of velvety, and they give off this sweet fragrance like a mix of caramel and chocolate. Yep, a plant that smells like dessert. Hoya Memoria is super easy to care for bright, indirect light. Let the soil dry out between waterings, and it'll reward you with those gorgeous flowers. Plus, it's a great choice if you love trailing Hoyas. Alright, this one's a bit of a hidden gem Hoya Neocaledonica. Not as common as some other Hoyas, but if you're into fast-growing, easy-care plants, this one's a solid pick. The leaves are smooth, bright green, and it loves to climb or trail. And when it blooms, oh man, the flowers are gorgeous soft white with a hint of yellow, and they smell kinda sweet, like honey. It's one of those Hoyas that doesn't make you wait forever to see blooms either. This one loves warmth, bright, indirect light, and a little extra humidity if you can swing it. Let the soil dry between waterings, and this beauty will keep growing strong. Alright, check this out. This is Hoya Coronaria, and this one's got some serious personality. Unlike your typical delicate Hoyas, this one has thick, almost succulent-like leaves. It's built tough, but man, when it blooms, it's next level. Now, this is where it really shines. Look at those flowers big, waxy, and shaped like perfect stars. And they smell amazing, kind of like a fresh garden after the rain. Plus, the blooms last longer than most Hoyas. This one likes it hot, lots of bright light, even some direct sun, and higher humidity if you can manage it. Now, if you're looking for a royal addition to your Hoya collection, this is it Hoya Imperialis. This plant is big, bold, and definitely lives up to its name. The leaves? Thick, glossy, and huge compared to most Hoyas. But the real reason people go crazy for this one? These flowers. Look at them, big, deep red, almost burgundy, with a super glossy finish. And the fragrance? It's strong, sweet, and fills up a whole room when it blooms. Hoya Imperialis loves warmth and humidity. So if you're in a tropical climate or you've got a humidifier, it'll be happy. Give it something to climb, and when it finally blooms, it'll be worth the wait. Alright, this one's a real crowd pleaser Hoya Skinneriana. If you want a fast-growing, easy-care Hoya that blooms like crazy, this is it. The leaves are smooth, bright green, and it loves to trail or climb. And check out these blooms. Massive clusters of pink, and they've got that classic sweet Hoya scent. This one's known for flowering a lot, so if you're impatient. It's a great choice. Super easy, care bright, indirect light. Let it dry out between waterings, and it'll thrive. Give it some love, and trust me, it'll give you tons of flowers in return. Alright, here's a tough and reliable one, Hoya Diversifolia. This guy can handle a lot, from bright sun to salty air, which makes it perfect if you live somewhere warm or even near the coast. Now, look at these flowers soft pink, with a little pop of yellow in the center. And when it blooms, it puts out a ton of these clusters, especially if you give it plenty of light. This one thrives in bright light heck. It can even handle some direct sun. Just let the soil dry between waterings, and you'll have a strong, low-maintenance beauty that blooms like crazy. Now, if you like your Hoyas a little more chunky, you're going to love this one Hoya Pachyclada. The leaves are thick, round, and kinda succulent-like, which means it stores water and doesn't need constant care. And when it blooms, oh man, it's got these gorgeous white flowers with a sweet, almost vanilla-like scent. Plus, the blooms last a while, so you get to enjoy them for longer. Because of these thick leaves, this one doesn't need much water let it dry out first. Bright, indirect light is best, and if you give it the right care, you'll get some stunning flowers. Alright, let's talk about a Hoya that really knows how to put on a show, Hoya Mindorensis. This one grows fast, has deep green leaves, and when it starts blooming, it just doesn't stop. Now this is where it gets exciting. Look at those blooms rich red, velvety, and packed in tight clusters. And the best part? It's got a strong, sweet scent that makes your whole space smell amazing. Hoya Mindorensis loves humidity and bright, indirect light. Keep the soil lightly moist, but don't overdo it. Give it the right care, and trust me, you'll have blooms almost all year round. Alright, let's check out Hoya Affinis. This one's a stunner. It's got long vines, dark green leaves, and when it blooms, man, it really shows off. And this is what makes it special. Look at those flowers. Deep red, super waxy, and they've got a nice sweet scent. If you love Hoyas with bold blooms, this one's for you. Give this one bright light, and let the soil dry out between waterings. It's pretty easy going, and when it's happy, it'll give you flowers non-stop. Now, this little guy Hoya Sigillatis is seriously underrated. It's got these long, trailing vines and narrow leaves covered in cool silver speckles. Looks almost like it's been painted. And when it blooms, man, these flowers are wild, deep orange-red, super glossy, and they come in clusters. Plus, they've got that classic sweet Hoya scent. This one loves bright, indirect light and needs good drainage. Let it dry out between waterings, and you'll have a low-maintenance beauty that keeps growing and blooming. All right, let's talk about Hoya Acuta, of the easiest Hoyas to grow. It's got these glossy, deep green leaves and grows fast, making it perfect for anyone who wants a low-maintenance but beautiful plant. And when it blooms, look at these delicate flowers, soft pink and white, with a little fuzzy texture. Plus, they've got that classic sweet scent Hoyas are known for. This one thrives in bright, indirect light and loves a bit of humidity. Let the soil dry out between waterings, and you'll have a healthy, happy plant that rewards you with stunning blooms. All right, this next one, Hoya Pauciflora, is a little different from your typical Hoya. It's got these long, slender leaves that almost look like blades of grass. Super unique, right? And check this out, its flowers are simple but elegant. White with a dark purple center, almost orchid-like. Plus, they've got that nice, mild fragrance Hoyas are famous for. This one loves bright, indirect light and does great when you give it something to climb. If you let it trail, it gets even more interesting. Now, don't overwater this guy. It likes to dry out a bit between waterings. Too much water? You'll get root rot, and nobody wants that. All right, up next is Hoya Odorata. Let me tell you, the name says it all. This one's got some of the best-smelling flowers in the Hoya world. Just look at these. Small, white, super fragrant, especially in the evening. If you like plants that smell amazing, this is the one for you. Unlike some Hoyas that vine like crazy, Odorata stays a bit more compact, so it's perfect for smaller spaces. Just keep it in bright, direct light and it'll thrive. Now, watering? Keep it simple, let it dry out between waterings. Too much water and, well, your Hoya won't be smelling too great anymore. All right, let's talk about Hoya Cumingiana. This one's a little different. Instead of trailing like most Hoyas, it grows upright like a mini shrub. Pretty cool, huh? It's got these tiny, fleshy leaves that grow in pairs along the stem, giving it a really neat, structured look. Super easy to care for, too. And when it blooms, look at these small, yellow flowers with a deep orange center. Oh, and they smell amazing, too. Kind of like honey. This one loves bright light and a bit of humidity. Just don't overwater, let the soil dry out between drinks, and it'll keep looking this good. All right, this next one, Hoya Brevialata, is a real charmer. It's got these tiny, round, thick leaves that grow in a nice, dense trailing pattern. Perfect for a hanging basket. The leaves are super cute, almost like little green coins, and they've got a slight silver tint in the right light. Plus, they're nice and thick, which means this guy stores water well. And check this out, its blooms are these delicate, pale pink clusters with a sweet scent. Not the strongest smelling Hoya, but still a nice touch. This one's low maintenance, bright, indirect light, a little humidity, and let the soil dry out between waterings. Treat it right, and it'll reward you with tons of growth. All right, last but definitely not least, Hoya Meredithii. If you love Hoyas with huge veiny leaves, this one's a must-have. Just look at these leaves. They've got this amazing venation that makes them stand out from most other Hoyas. And the bigger they get, the better they look. And when it blooms, wow! These soft yellow flowers pop up in clusters, and they have a light, sweet fragrance. Not overpowering, just really pleasant. Now, care-wise, keep it in bright, indirect light. Give it some humidity, and let the soil dry out between waterings. If you do that, this beauty will thrive. And there you have it, 20 amazing Hoyas you can grow at home. Whether you're into big, bold leaves or delicate, fragrant flowers, there's a Hoya for everyone. Let me know in the comments which one's your favorite, or if you already have some of these in your collection. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss more plant content. Happy growing, and I'll catch you in the next one.